Just a quick disclaimer before we start the video. Most of the movies that I mention in this video are rated PG-13 or above, so discretion is advised if you decide to watch them. Ask your parents before you do so. Hey guys, my name is Blaze. Welcome back to Intercrab. If you guys have been watching the channel for a little while, you would know that I enjoy comic books and superheroes and things of that nature. So today, I thought that I would talk to you guys about how I got into it and why I really do like that. So, you guys might not be able to believe it, but, I think it was, what was it? A couple years ago, I had never read a superhero comic or seen a superhero movie or anything. Of course, I knew who Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man, and a lot of them were. I had heard about it and stuff, and I had watched pieces of movies just from flipping through channels and stuff. I knew a couple characters more than I knew others just because of popularity. And then I met my friend James, and so James was super into them, super into superheroes and comic books and things of that nature. And so, I started talking with him, and I started talking with some other people that I knew, and so a bunch of people were into that stuff. So James and I knew things about a lot of film and stuff, because I make YouTube videos. I didn't at that time, but I did making short films, and I knew because he wanted to focus. So we were gonna make a comic club, but we were also gonna focus on Harry Potter and all sorts of geek nerd kind of stuff. But which of course isn't a bad thing. Geek and nerd, I'm not using in a stereotypical type of a stereotypical nature. I'm just saying geek and nerd can be just a person who's into specific things. And so we started that up, and I'm like, seriously, I need to actually start doing some stuff. So I think the first movie I watched was Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, because I heard that movie was really funny, and I wanted to check that out. And so I watched some of them. No, it wasn't Guardians, it was the first Superman. It was the original Superman the movie. I think that was made in the 50s or 60s. I'm not positive because I'm an actual idiot when it comes to dates. So I watched those movies, and they were all pretty good. Superman 4, obviously had some issues. Then I watched Superman Returns, because they were all on Netflix at the time, and I had Netflix. And then I think I started getting into the Marvel universe, and I watched a lot of Marvel films. I watched the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. And, of course, by now, I've seen most mainstream DC movies, except for Man of Steel and Dark Knight Rises, which I still need to watch. DC-wise, I'm pretty caught up, and I watch the DC Arrowverse shows. I don't watch the Arrow, but I watch the other ones. I watch Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash. Those are really good. Legends of Tomorrow is actually probably my favorite show ever. And so, yeah, and then Marvel-wise, the only things I still need to watch are Thor: The Dark World, which I've heard is not a very good movie. Iron Man 3, and and the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, which also I've heard is not a very good movie, because save the worst ones for last. Yeah, I forget if it's Iron Man 2 or 3. They say it's pretty bad too. I thought Iron Man 2 was fine. So yeah, and then when the comic club started, I learned a lot more, and I progressed the comic club throughout my time in middle school. So now I'm here. I'm in high school now, and I'm still into all these superheroes. My favorite superhero currently is Spider-Man. Infinity War, spoiler alert, rip Spider-Man. I don't feel so good.
You're alright.
And, so yeah, I really think that Marvel did a really good job when they made Infinity War. I know a lot of YouTubers have said this, mashing 70-some characters into one movie and not making it seem overcrowded. That was very good, even though they didn't focus on each hero individually like they've done in the previous Avengers films. They've given each character their own arc. I mean, they separated everybody into teams. That ended up being 2 towards the end, but there was a good amount of teams towards the beginning. So yeah, and then, so why do I really like superheroes? It's just because the movies and the comics and any other superhero related stuff, it shows that there are problems that are unsolvable even with, this is the same thing that they've talked about a lot with Harry Potter. There's magic and powers can't solve every problem. And I think that there's always going to be a problem that's bigger than us that we have to work as a team to solve, or use our own human capabilities. Like, I don't think I think Iron Man wouldn't have been Iron Man without his suit. Obviously isn't human, but without his human brain, his human intelligence, he wouldn't have been able to build that suit and do the things that he's done. And I think that's, or even Steve Rogers, Captain America. He has this incredible strength, but his normal human was his courage and his bravery to always do what's right. And I think that when he, originally in the first Captain America movie, he was really scrawny, and he didn't, he was really scrawny, and he didn't really, he wasn't prepared for the military. They didn't let him in for a little while.
Rogers. What'd your father die of?
Mustard gas. He was in the 107th Infantry. I was hoping I could be assigned.
Your mother?
She was a nurse in a TB ward. Got hit. Couldn't shake it.
Sorry, son.
Look, just give me a chance.
You've been eligible on your asthma alone.
Until, you know, he figured out there's a super soldier thing, and they had, and so they got him in, and they were going to use him as for the super soldier thing. But there was this one scene that really stood out to me in that movie. They were training, and so they do this, I'm pretty sure they do this often in military training. The commander threw in a fake grenade, and yelled grenade. So everybody else ran and hid. And him being, and he was still scrawny, like similar to me. I'm pretty scrawny, and he jumps on top of the grenade to save everybody else.
Look at that. He's making me cry. Hodge passed every test we gave him. He's big, he's fast, he obeys orders, he's a soldier.
He's a bully.
You don't win wars with niceness, Doctor. You win wars with guts. Grenade! Oh,
Get away! Get back!
The dummy grenade.
Is this a test?
Of course, it wasn't a real grenade, and he couldn't have gotten hurt, but that's his human bravery that did that, and I think that that's super important. That I think that if everybody had that kind of bravery, we wouldn't have as many problems in the world as we do. And I think that all heroes wouldn't be who they are without their human qualities, without their human capabilities, whether it's bravery. Like, I mean, we've got like the classic Wizard of Oz.
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Type scenario, courage, intelligence, and compassion. Courage, intelligence, and compassion. Without those three things, we wouldn't have, these superheroes wouldn't be able to do what they do. And I think that if everybody had as much bravery, intelligence, and compassion that the the Avengers and the Justice League have together, then we wouldn't have as many problems as we do in the world, and that's really important. And I think that these stories really teach us a lesson about those things. And when I sat down to make this video, I didn't know I was going to talk about this as deeply as I actually am now, because it's so down deep that I really have to think. I thought, like, you really have to think to find it, and it's really, but it's in there. Everybody knows it, but they don't see it. And I've never heard of somebody who doesn't like at least one superhero. Like, my brother, oh my gosh. Yeah. My brother, he doesn't like superhero movies at all. No. But he heard about Black Panther, and he thought, and then he's into everything. My dad and I sat down the other day to watch Infinity War, and he wants to come in and watch it with us. And this is the kid who cringed when my mom and I were watching Superman. I'm sorry about the change of scenery. My camera just ran out of storage and almost died, so I had to plug it in. So, just my final point is, it's a generational thing, and everybody knows what these superheroes are. I can talk to my grandfather about Batman or the Avengers, and he'll probably know what it is, because it's been passed. It's just like, oh, I don't even know I can't even explain it. They have comic books, they have movies, TV shows. They've been going on since forever ago. It's such a big thing. And guys, that brings me to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more videos like this, subscribe and hit the like button. That lets me know that you guys really want to see me talk more about personal things and about just rant about specific things. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.